Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, Sin and Sacrifice. Sin and Sacrifice being the fourth DLC in Season 1 of the Battlestar Galactica RTS game from Slitherine Games. Now this mission is Mission 4. Mission 4 in the campaign, which is 11 missions long, and is entitled Pre-Incarnate Gemenon. Now, you guessed this will be in the Geminese system. Now, a requirement of this mission is obviously you've got to complete missions 1, 2 and 3. No dramas there. But also, you're going to have the Daedalus jump into system as well. So make sure you've got a good old strong battle fleet before you jump into this particular area. Now, unlike some of the other missions, there's been no flashing icon that gives you any little indication of the story. And story is quite light on this mission, as we're going to see. However, that's not to say it's not important. Now, as you wait for the screen to load, Gemenon was founded by the followers of Hera from the Gemini galleon around 132 CE, the first of the vessels to arrive from Kobol, the fabled lost Kobol tribe, such as Gemenon was the first colony founded. Now, Pre-Incarnate Gemenon, that's what it's called, Mission 4. What have I got? Well, I got my Daedalus, I've got my Jupiter, I've got my Minerva, I've got an Adamant, I've got Artemis, I've got a ship with big loads of guns, the Minotaur. And the idea of this is, you think is quite simple, but it's quite taxing. There's a lot of Cylon presence in system, a hell of a lot of Cylon presence in system. What you've got to do, and it relies on you having a Raptor squadron, which is why, as a result of this, not only did the Jupiter have a Raptor squadron, I put one on one of my Adamants as well, because I've got enough other Viper squadrons to make up the gap should there be an awful lot of a Cylon present going into this the first time round. Now, a few Cylons in the area. I suspect an ambush with an asset such as this base inside, and the idea is that you've got to get your Raptor squadron over to that base, get any information that you can, and then get back.
Fleet group is jumping in 3.
Here we go.
1.
So here we jump. Excellent.
Jump complete.
And our
Cylons
fleet
are
is
on
pretty much
board.
in position. Let's hear some story.
They are forces from Cylon Command, Latchis' own personal guard. They know there is value in this facility, if not what it is.
Commander, launch Raptors and have our Marines board the station as soon as there's a clear runway.
So there you have it. We've got to jump into system, board that station with our Marines, get the information and get it out. So the Monotheist data facility is what it's all about. Now, Cylon's actually in system. We know this. Let's get cracking. So I'm moving things into the area. I'm going to launch my Raptors now, try and get them into position as well. Now, all these Raptors are fitted with rockets. And that's great. We're going to get our squadrons in the air so they can provide air support and chop down any missiles that may be targeted towards us. And then we're going to start to maneuver our battle fleet. All that being said, and a good look at the surrounding systems. Only 3 Cylon marks in system at the moment. But I'm sure that's going to change. And taking a look at that sort of cotton reel sort of data facility in the system. Okay, so Cylon Raiders have been launched. That was to be expected. We're still going to continue moving towards the facility and getting in range. Going to target the Raptors over to abilities, and we're going to get them to board that data facility as soon as I possibly can to get things moving. I've just got a feeling that the Cylons are going to know something's going on and the jig will be up and I'll be surrounded by base stars or something like that. Okay, so far so good. Going from the map view now, we can have a good look, zoom in back in. Going to get our Viper squadron. One squadron, you know my strategy by now if you've seen my other videos. One squadron is going to be there left defending the actual battle stars and the ships. Other squadron is going to be out taking care of any Cylon raiders or any other ships in the vicinity. I've got the Daedalus fighters hanging back, and I got 2 squadrons there just in case something gets through the line. It's not going to be completely defenseless. So, as predicted, we've got some Cylons jumping in.
We've shown our hand now. I hope you trust Kane to do this right, Lena, because I'm not sure that I do.
So, good stuff. So Kane says we've shown our hand now, no problem. That's what we are. We're in system. This is what we're doing. This is where we're going to go. That's what we're after. We're after that data. Cylons don't like it. They've called for reinforcements. More ships have jumped in. So, time to start opening up and start focusing fire on some of the nearest ships. Getting rid of some of those pesky Cylons. Now, as you know, I'm not a fan of those Cylon ships anyway, but we've got some others. We've got an Argos in play. We've got more conventional Cylon ships that we've seen through some of the other missions in play as well. But I feel confident that by positioning ships sort of equidistant and splitting the group, again like what I have done in the past, is probably the best method. Now the Minotaur. Huge guns on the Minotaur. We're going to get them to bear now. We're going to get our Raptor. Make sure our Raptor is still docking. And the other Raptor, going to fire some rockets at the Cylon ships over on the left-hand side. So far, so good. Now they're doing something with proximity mines by the look of it as well. So that's going to be a right old nightmare. The ships are going around and reprogramming them. So just in case something goes horribly wrong, I'm going to move that Raptor squadron over a little bit now towards the facility. Just in case that other Raptor squadron, the first Raptor squadron that I've had, gets destroyed.
Missiles incoming.
So they're firing missiles at me.
Station. No contact inside. Sounds like a real mess in there, probably abandoned for some time. Glad I talked my way out of having to go on point for this one.
Marines are on the station. That's great. We're now waiting for the Marines that we've sent over on our Raptors to board. Well, they have boarded to actually locate the data that we're after. So as a result of that, I know the Raptor's docked and everything's fine. Let's get that Raptor off, making a nuisance of some of those other Cylon ships and firing those rockets off. The Adamant I've got on the left-hand side is going to start laying down fire once we get into range some of those Cylon ships. Missiles and turrets on the right-hand side starting to engage the Cylon ships there. And of course we've got a great big honking Revenant. But you know, the Artemis and the Minerva, we've already destroyed one. As they're going to start engaging. Now, time to switch our focus to the other Cylon ship now, in range. Turrets, there you go, we're going to start focusing. Start wearing some things down. Again, I've got a feeling that it's not going to be the only set of Cylons that jump in. I reckon they're not going to make this easy for me.
Yes, Commander.
So starting to lay down fire now. Getting some missiles out. So far, so good.
Yes, Commander.
A long mission, this one, has to be said. But you don't want things to be over too quickly, in my opinion. Okay, Jupiter laying down fire. The Cerberus, that's in system, is taking a beating. It won't be long. And here comes more Cylons.
Commander, we've got another wave of Dratus contacts. All hostile. Marines have confirmed access to the code test beds. I'm setting up the data transfer now. This is gonna take a while. The data set is big.
There is a faster alternative, Lieutenant. Locate my reversion host and use it to download and store the data locally. We can alter the MCP's transfer protocols to accommodate the size of the dataset.
That is a horrible idea. Except it would probably work. We could literally just walk out with the data.
This facility should be a priority 1 target. We're here to stop the Cylons, not collaborate with them.
Lachesis will learn how you intend to locate them. They will adjust their behavior accordingly, and render this entire endeavor null. The first and last you will ever see of them will be at their complete subjugation of your colonies. Admiral, the only advantage you have right now is the speed at which this dataset can be processed, and your plan to confront Lachesis formulated.
Do it. Tell them to find the robot and use it to transfer the data. Lords help me if this...
Okay, so effectively what they're saying is there's loads of data, an absolute ton of data. What they can't do is download it in time because all these Cylons are turning up, even though we're giving them a bit of a pasting. I don't know how long we're going to be able to last. So the Cylon, Klothos, that defected to the Colonial Fleet has turned around and said, well,
Understood.
there's one of my Klothos clones, resurrection clones, on the station. Use that to hold all the data and then effectively walk out with the data and don't worry with the data transfer. So the Marines are going to do that. They're going to find it. They're going to effectively then reprogram it into a massive walking USB stick, get the data transferred, and then time to head for the hills. All the meantime, we're still engaging the Cylons, turrets, firing missiles, and the like. Now, while that's going on, the Gemenon colony, right? Apparently, it was a flourishing industrial economy, and all this is taken from the Battlestar Galactica lore, which processed the extensive resources on its surface. However, Tauron's enormous industrial growth caused the Geminese economy to fall into depression. Well, there you go. Before the Cylon War, 2 sects lived in relative tolerance of one another on Gemenon. The fundamentalists believe that the word of the sacred skulls was literally truth. The gods could heal and regularly bestow visions on most devout followers. This is probably why, as we saw in the re-envisage Battlestar Galactica, there was an awful lot about, disease on ships and how the Geminese just didn't want anything to do with natural and modern medicine within the Galactica universe. It was very much relying on herbs, potions and lotions and old wives' tales to get them through. The other religious faction was made up of Orthodox theists. Contrary to their name, they were the least judgmental of the Geminese. So there you go. A little bit of history there on the Geminese. So the Marines have reprogrammed the spare Klothos on board that station, and the data transfer is still ongoing. Our ships are starting to take a beating. The Cylons are jumping in. Big Cylons are coming in with new missile batteries. These missile batteries are going to make a right old mess of our armor plating. And as a result of this, we ain't going to last very long. So the sooner this is all over, I think, the better. Now, so far, Sin and Sacrifice by Slitherine and Blacklab Games, the 4th DLC for the Battlestar Galactica Deadlock game, RTS game, which we're playing, has spawned a little bit of a sale on Steam. Some money off. I think it's 25% off the base game, probably to get people to buy this DLC. Now, this is, I think, good value for money. I paid full price for it, although I have to say Slitherine did give me a copy of this DLC. As a result of which, full disclosure, they gave me a copy of the DLC, but then I had bought the other 3. So I was going to buy it anyway, but fortunately I had it 4 or 5 days before, played it over the weekend before its release on the 19th of March, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoying it now. So, changes we've had, if you've not already heard so, you've got a jukebox mode where you can change the skirmish jukebox music whilst you're playing. You've also got comms chatter. You've got veterancy, where your people can continue to learn skills the more battles they survive and give your ships some added bonuses and plus points. Of course, that also works for the Cylons. The longer that they survive, they're going to be harder to take out. So in your map view, if Cylons turn up, try and deal with them quick. So if they're for a while, they're going to start learning and they're going to be even harder to take out.
Wait for clearance and then blow the station.
Admiral, there is decades of research in that facility. Neural networks, probability models, quantum processing. Most of the technology in there is as yet unused by any Cylon agent. You would destroy the library to kill a cockroach.
In this case, the cockroach is worth killing.
So another bit of story there. They've got the data. They're attempting to walk out with it. And now it's down to us, once they're in their Raptor, I always recall the Raptor at this stage, once they're on it, to destroy the facility. Now I'm not going to waste missiles on it. I'm going to circle it and get the guns out, while the rest of my force is also still engaging the Cylons. Still a few Cylons out there, because once the facility has been destroyed, I dare say it's going to turn around and say, right, shoot all the Cylon. So as a result of which, I don't want to be too much out of position. I mean, as it's a data facility, it's not going to be heavily armoured. As you can see on the screen, it's going to take a little bit of a pounding from our guns, and then it'll give up the ghost, and then we can move on with this section of the game. So we've targeted it, we've got some ships in position already. Not going to waste missiles, like I said. It's all going to be about laying down heavy fire with the turrets. Now, I've still got quite a few missiles in my missile battery to start finishing off some of the other remaining Cylons. So far, so good. And also, why waste time? Some of the ships over the left-hand side, still getting a bit of a pasting. They're reprogramming mines or whatever they're doing over there to make themselves an utter nuisance. So time from a long distance to start firing off some missiles towards them. Now I may have some success here, I may not. But as you can see, I'm wearing down the armour on that data facility already. So like I said, in regards to this DLC, the end of Season 1, what can we expect to see in Season 2? I mean, and some of the comments on the channel on some of the videos have been great. You can tell the publishing house and the developer really care about this game, and there goes the facility. They really do care about it. You know, the attention to detail. They care about the license, which obviously must have been a significant investment. But they also care about the development of the game. And I think, you know, as a strategy game goes, it's pretty good. If you're a fan, it's brilliant. And very much akin to playing Star Trek games if you're a huge Trekkie, or Star Wars games. And today it's been announced that Disney is reviving Lucas Games. LucasArts Games, which is great. Because, and not to bash EA, I mean, I've enjoyed the Battlefront games. But I want a bit of story. You know, this is what's good. You got your RTS version of this game. There's a bit of story in the campaign, smackled about. I think it's pretty good. So, that facility's now been destroyed. And there you have it. Eliminate all hostile forces. Now, if you're out of position, it's going to be hard work. I'm going to get the Vipers out there, having a go as well. I'm going to get some missiles fired into that vicinity so I can take out those remaining ships. This should be okay. I'm not worried. And also, I've got the Daedalus, and it's 2 Viper squadrons in reserve. Viper Mark 1 squadrons, because I won't pay for Mark 2s, in reserve to take them out. Now, I'm recording my Raptors, so they can rearm. My main fleet coming in from the right-hand side of the screen, of the map, ready to engage.
So say we all.
More missiles can be fired. So let's fire the missiles. So out of the missions so far, and I have to say this mission, Mission 4, which is pre-incarnate Gemenon, and the Destructionist facility, so far has been quite easy. Yes, more Cylons have jumped in. Yes, we've dealt with them. We've got the armour in sight. And that's probably because what I did before engaging the missiles, I did loads of skirmishes and upgraded my commanders in several of their points. I did this perfectly because of experience with the game. Everyone tends to go for the command points and then forgets about things like increasing your CIC stats, or your navigation, or your hangar repair, or things like that. All these stats that come with your different commanders that you can recruit, and then therefore assign to your battle groups and ships. So I went through and I started upgrading a lot of them, not to the max. And of course, you know, you do want to get on with the game, so it's all about the battle points as well. And the battle points relate to how many ships you can have. So we are giving the Cylon a good old see into. More missiles, we're going to fire more missiles off. Getting the guns, the lash down, getting the Vipers in there as well. All in all, no dramas. Some of our ships are starting to take a beating, and there's a Nemesis, which is effectively a Cylon corvette, on its way down towards the bottom of the map. Now, we're going to be in high-speed pursuit, or as high-speed pursuit as you can be in a bunch of Battlestars, also with the mindset of destroying the Cylons that are also in the area. Of which, you know, we're going to see them off, no problems at all. But the pursuit of the Nemesis corvette towards the bottom end of the screen is a major problem. Now, I've done an awful lot of videos in regards to Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, so check them out. And if you've only done so, click that like and subscribe button, and check out then the notification icon and ring the notification bell, because that'll let you know when I'm putting more videos, such as Battlestar Galactica Deadlock Sin and Sacrifice, and all the other DLC that I'm going to go back and revisit in a new series, as well as other games such as Elite Dangerous and Subnautica and No Man's Sky. There's an update due for No Man's Sky coming out in the summer as well. That guy will just not let that game lie. You know, he's really putting some development updates on it, and the community following have been, I think they've been quite forgiving, given that the game came out in 2016 and was completely planned. But he has updated it, you know, quite extensively. Bit like this game. This game came out, raging reviews, they were great. More DLC came out as well, you know, adding to the story, and that's what I like about a game. And that's what's lacking from an awful lot of developers in my eyes. You know, look after the people, give them good content, give them regular content that's relevant, and they will buy more DLC from you. You know, don't expect people just to pay for half a game. Deadlock, when it came out, fully stood by itself. And that is what I really liked about it. And to be fair, you know, any problems occur, and there are going to be problems with modern gameplay, you know, they fix them. And you've got to admire people who release a full game these days, and not just some half-baked effort that then requires a huge amount of downloads to get it anywhere near playable. And there's been quite a few of those recently that have been released across all of the consoles. So let's talk a little bit about the consoles. Xbox One, it's been released so far. PlayStation, there's been some problems there. They've realised that. Instead of releasing it and then having people jaded, what they've done is, well, effectively what they've done is they've held it back a week. They can address the problems and then release it, not jading the experience that players would get from an unfinished project. And to be fair, that should be lauded and celebrated within any sort of gaming community. And hats off to Slitherine Games and Blacklab for doing that. Now, so far so good. We're coming right down to the end of it now. The last of the Cylon ships are being destroyed, and that suits me fine. It's been a long old 24 minutes from start of this campaign to the end. And I haven't even watched the replay yet, so thanks very much if you're still with me for sticking with me. Now, the Cylons are increasing in complexity and in difficulty. But, you know, I think if you've got a good spread and a good range of ships, it shouldn't give you too many trouble. So, there you have it. So what I'm going to do now with the Cylons now currently destroyed, what we're going to do is we're going to watch the replay. I'm not going to talk all the way through it. And as a result of this, I will bid you all to watch the latest video in the series. They're going to put that Cylon back in the brig, where there's no Wi-Fi, the humanity of it. So check back for more videos in the series. I've been Ricardo. This has been Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, Sin and Sacrifice, the 4th DLC in the series. Let's watch that replay.
I repeat, set condition 1. This is not a drill.
Watch your intervals, people.
There's one single pressure loss between those pilots and cold space.
We're going to make them pay.
Escort clear zone is intact. Priority 1 is in safe hands.
Escort clearance zone is active.
Escort priority 1 is still online. We're gonna hammer the frackers till they can't get back up.
We're taking sustained fire. Adjusting shot by .06. Fire!
Boss incoming on priority 1.
Not today, Kit Kat. Matrix plating.
Optimizing firing. Set secondary battery. Full attack mode. Fire at will.
God damn it, they got me.
Come on, come on, come on.
Target accuracy. Screw. Give me manual control now. Get him, get him, get him. Switching gun to manual.
We're taking fire!
Keep your target locked and watch for clearance. Target is 34 by 99.
We've been through worse.
Reload this. Incoming. Order received to clean up and de-escalate.
That's right, crackers. That's right.
That's what I like about these replays. You can see the benefits or your disasters, and it's a really good feature as well to visualize that, not just from a strategy point of view, but in a 3D sort of like visual treat really of what you've been doing over the past near half an hour. Again, thanks very much for your support. Check back for more videos in the series. See you soon.